Part 3. 6 Basic Nutrients for Health. I have decided to break down these 6 nutrients into different subjects so I can explain how each of them works. I have listed the 6 nutrients below, and this paper will give a basic summary of fats/oils. I have also included cholesterol as I feel it is important for everyone to understand how this has such a great impact on the health of the body, either positively or negatively. The others nutrients will follow in 3 more explanations. I felt it was necessary to give an overview of how important they all are in the scheme of diet and nutrition. The 6 are: carbohydrates/fiber, protein, fats/oils/cholesterol, vitamins, minerals, water. I have decided to start with cholesterol. Fats and oils will follow. Cholesterol. Cholesterol is a waxy substance in your blood that is a major component of every cell wall in your body and is required for the production of some hormones such as the sex hormones estrogen and testosterone. It occurs in very high concentration in the cells that protect the brain and nervous system. It is important not to restrict cholesterol in children under the age of 2 years old whose brain and nervous system are still developing. Cholesterol is required to make bile acid and in the manufacture of vitamin D by the skin. Bile acids assist with the absorption of fat from the diet. Most of your body's cholesterol needs are met by the cholesterol your body makes by itself, as I mentioned previously, approximately 3,000 milligrams per day. That is the reason for this whole cholesterol problem. People add too much cholesterol on top of what their body already produces. This is usually done unknowingly since most people do not know what food items have the cholesterol. As I have said previously, the medical industry will never give you specific information about what or what not to eat to prevent this problem or help this problem. Most often they just give you a pill. My purpose here is to give you tips on how to help solve this high cholesterol issue. Once it is in your body in excess, it is our job to get it out. Excessive amounts of cholesterol in the blood can cause cardiovascular disease as it forms fatty deposits in the arteries, which may lead to narrowing of the arteries and restricted blood flow. Elevated blood cholesterol can be hereditary or influenced by dietary factors, specifically a diet that is high in cholesterol, total fat and saturated fat. Studies have shown that dietary intake of saturated fat has a greater impact on cholesterol levels and associated health risks than the intake of cholesterol alone. This means that saturated fat should be as of the same concern as cholesterol in planning your daily meals. HDL cholesterol, high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, is the good stuff that carries the bad cholesterol out of the arteries. LDL cholesterol, low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, is the bad stuff that clogs the arteries. Foods to help lower cholesterol. 1. Eat more soluble fiber, such as oats and beans. I suggest lentils as they do not have a gassy effect. Also, barley and slit peas. These protect against heart disease. Bean and barley soups are easy to make. Oatmeal and oat bran are also easy to prepare. Research shows that 2 ounces of oat bran each day can help people with high cholesterol attain lower levels along with a low-fat diet. Remember to have it with low-fat milk. Keep in mind your way of thinking has to change to low-fat everything from now on. 2. All animal products have cholesterol, so as I mentioned, if you do eat chicken or fish, keep it to a deck of card size. Meat is high in saturated fat and you may want to keep that to a minimum. 3. If you have eggs, only egg whites, and as I suggested, you may want to cook up a lot of hard-boiled eggs and add just the whites to salads. Egg whites are great for breakfast, adding a small piece of potato and some spinach. It is a great way to get extra protein without the cholesterol. Milk and cheese products have cholesterol as well, so they are also to be watched. 4. Grapeseed oil is a great oil for lowering cholesterol. It is wonderful on salads and goes well with lentils. My trick for lowering cholesterol is this combination added to my meals. I even put my morning eggs over a small bed of lentils with a little grapeseed oil. Yummy. Keep in mind you don't want to cook the oil. Once you prepare your food, add the oil after it is done and mix it in. People don't realize that cooking these good oils kills all of the good effects that it is supposed to have on the body. Grapeseed oil is not one to bake on high heat. Light cooking and on salads is great. 5. Stay away from egg yolks and organ meats such as liver and kidney. They are excessively high in cholesterol. 6. Apples, pears, and prunes are high fiber also and will help the process. 7. Nuts help lower cholesterol, no salt version of course, walnuts, pecans, almonds, and peanuts. A few are okay as a snack. Recommended fat limits. Fat intake for a normal healthy adult male should be 25 to 35% of total calories, with the saturated fat making less than 7% of your total caloric intake. For those who have a cholesterol problem, however, this percentage is normally cut to 10 or 20%. That means you have to really start reading labels as it relates to not only cholesterol but saturated fat. Some tips for low-fat cooking are as follows. 1. Add water or lemon juice for extra moisture. Just make sure the lemon does not upset your digestive system. 2. Choose lean cuts of meat and poultry and remove visible fat before cooking. 3. Use a rack to cook so the fat drops down, and use a gravy separator to defat the gravy from roast meat or poultry before serving. 4. Instead of cooking in oil or fat, use non-stick cookware or vegetable spray. 5. Stir-fry in stock rather than in oil. 6. Consider using the microwave or steaming food. 7. Instead of deep frying, brush food with a little oil and broil, roast or grill for the same crispy effect. 8. Pan grill. This uses very little oil to prevent food from sticking and excess fat drains into the grooves of the skillet. 9. Hot smoking fish, meat or poultry can be a healthy way to cook. 10. Broiling is a healthy way to cook with a little oil and seasoning. It is a good idea to go in the vegan direction for most meals to really omit the cholesterol from your diet. Veggies, salad, egg whites, lentils. Most people are stuck on getting their protein from animal products. Start changing your way of thinking to getting your protein from vegan sources. It's just a matter of changing habits. I do it every day and I don't feel deprived. I always get a lot of protein while cutting back the cholesterol. What you are trying to accomplish here is twofold. The goal is not to put too much cholesterol in while also trying to get it out of the body if your cholesterol is high. If your cholesterol is normal, just keep this in mind so it doesn't go up, and if it starts to, you can nip it in the bud. The food items like lentils, split peas and oat bran along with the other food items listed help carry the excess cholesterol out of the body. I usually have 2 meals a day and a few healthy snacks. Breakfast is scrambled egg whites with a little carb and a veggie, basically a vegan breakfast. Dinner is also mainly vegan. A healthy salad with little to no cholesterol at least 4 days per week. This would include lettuce, tomatoes, spinach, 2 hard-boiled egg whites, avocado, a spoonful of lentils, and a few tablespoons of grapeseed oil. Every now and then I add a deck of card-sized portion of either chicken or fish. It is really important that you keep track of your actual cholesterol intake. Make a note that you should not have more than 200 milligrams of cholesterol a day if your cholesterol is high. Read labels and start keeping track of cholesterol intake. Anyone watching their numbers knows this. One regular egg just about covers the 200 milligrams number. That is why egg whites are the way to go always. Keep a few of the egg white cartons around. It's easier than breaking a bunch of eggs every day. It's up to you. If you do not have a cholesterol problem, then you should try to keep it to 300 milligrams per day. Those of us who have to watch cholesterol keep these suggestions in mind all of the time, at home, and also when you go out for meals. Always have the servers assist in modifying meals for you to keep them low saturated fat and low cholesterol. When you are out, order wisely to keep up the good work. Fats and oils. Fats are part of a group of compounds called lipids, and they are composed of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Fats are mainly found in plants, fish, and meats. They form a major part of cell membranes in the body and play an important role in the absorption of the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Fat gives the body insulation, helping to maintain a constant temperature against extremes of hot and cold. It also serves as an important source of energy. Saturated fats. With the exception of palm and coconut oil, most saturated fats come from animal/dairy products and should be limited. Monounsaturated fats, fats found in plant oils, avocados, peanuts, and pecans, which help lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and triglycerides in the blood without lowering HDL, good cholesterol. Polyunsaturated fats consist of two major types: omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish oils, and omega-6 fatty acids found in vegetable oils such as sunflower, canola, and corn. Your diet should include both monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. The top 3 cooking oils are olive oil, canola, and sesame. The oil to be avoided is coconut, which is almost all saturated fat. There are positive benefits of coconut oil, but because of the high saturated fat content, it should be kept to a minimum for heart reasons. The real top of the food chain oils are flaxseed and grapeseed. Flaxseed is not for cooking but great for salads, and you can do light, quick, stir-frying with grapeseed oil. If you are not already using flaxseed oil, the best one is Barlean's in the refrigerated section of Whole Foods or Rainbow Acres on Washington if you are in Los Angeles. The best oils are always packaged in dark containers or cans to keep them from the light, which destroys their good nutrient value. Flaxseed oil has a start date and expiration date for freshness. Flax seeds have been valued since ancient times for their therapeutic properties. This nutty tasting seed is one of the best sources of omega-3 essential fatty acid. It is excellent for regulating blood pressure and for helping to prevent and/or heal degenerative diseases due to its extremely high EFA, essential fatty acid, content that our bodies need, but do not produce on their own. Flax seeds contain soluble and insoluble fiber if you actually eat the seeds themselves. Soluble fiber helps reduce cholesterol, while insoluble fiber helps eliminate toxins from the bowel. You can sprinkle the seeds in salads, smoothies, etc. I prefer the oil, but either one is great. Most people take fish oil, and unless it is a top-quality fish oil, you have the potential problem of mercury in the oil. That is why I personally feel flaxseed oil is a better choice. You can also just take a tablespoon daily to get the benefits. Grapeseed oil helps lower cholesterol. As I have mentioned months back, adding grapeseed oil, lentils/split peas to your daily meals mixed into salads or into a turkey burger or meatloaf, etc. will do the trick. It works. I have done it time and time again and have puzzled my doctor by the quick results. My cholesterol had a tendency to run borderline high when I was eating a lot of chicken several years ago. I got it under control by keeping animal protein to a real minimum daily, which I had a tendency to eat a lot of. We have to remember chicken and fish are the cholesterol culprits also. Switching to lentils and other plant proteins also gives the carb without the cholesterol. Trans fatty acids. These substances are created when liquid oils are heated to a very high temperature in a process known as hydrogenation, which turns them into a solid tub or stick of margarine. This process actually turns unsaturated fat into saturated fat. Trans fatty acids, also known as hydrogenated fats, act like saturated fats in the diet. This same process occurs with deep frying when liquid oils are heated beyond smoking point or are reheated repeatedly. Many hydrogenated fats are used in commercially prepared food items such as crackers, cookies, margarines and spreads. Keep in mind oil is 100% fat and 1 tablespoon equals 100 calories. Fat has more than twice the number of calories by weight than carbohydrates or protein. If you want to cut calories and still eat enough to feel satisfied, eat fewer fatty foods. Replace full-fat dairy products with low-fat or fat-free varieties. Fat is a source of stored energy, calories, that is burned mostly during low-level activity, example, reading, sleeping, and long-term activity, example, long runs or bike rides. Animal fats, butter, lard, fat and meat, tend to be saturated and contribute to heart disease and some cancer. Vegetable fats, example, olive oil, corn oil, are generally unsaturated and less harmful. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Explanation of oils. Liquid oils are an acceptable type of fat to include in limited amounts. Just use moderate amounts so you get most of your calories from carbs. When you select fats to consume, the rule of thumb is, the softer the better. That means that the soft liquid vegetable oils and tub margarines have a higher percentage of unsaturated fats compared to the harder, solid, fats such as stick margarines and solid vegetable shortenings. Liquid oils are preferable to the animal fats that are solid at room temperature, butter, bacon grease, lard, and the fat on meats. Try to stay away from saturated animal fat and tropical oils like coconut and palm. Also cut down on greasy hamburgers, pepperoni, fatty cheeses, and baked goods prepared commercially. Most people have a misconception about fat. Some even try to eliminate it completely. You can usually tell those people as they usually have visibly dry skin and hair. The good fats and oils are needed for a well-balanced diet, so do not eliminate them completely. The point here is to differentiate between good and bad fats. We need the good oils to keep us looking and feeling healthy inside and out. I have grapeseed oil with my meals at least twice a day. The bad oils should be kept to a minimum. I have included some definitions related to cholesterol and fat to help you read some confusing food labels so you know what you are buying. Fat-free, less than 0.5 grams of fat per serving. Cholesterol-free, less than 2 milligrams of cholesterol per serving. Light or light, contains 1/3 fewer calories or more than half the fat of the original product. Low fat, 3 grams or less of fat per serving. Low saturated fat, 1 gram or less of saturated fat per serving. Low cholesterol, less than 20 milligrams of cholesterol per serving. Lean, less than 10 grams of fat, 4 grams of saturated fat and 95 milligrams of cholesterol per serving per 3.5 ounces. Extra lean, less than 5 grams of fat, 2 grams of saturated fat and 95 mgs of cholesterol per serving per 3.5 ounces. Reduced fat, less or fewer, contains 25% less fat than the standard product. Reminder: someone who is watching their cholesterol intake should have no more than 200 milligrams of cholesterol per day. Keep that number imprinted in your mind and tailor your meals around it. You may want to pull up a fat and saturated fat percentage chart. This will list exactly what you need to know about which foods, especially the meats/poultry, are either good or not good for you to eat. Note: your saturated fat intake per day should be no more than 16 grams for women and 19 grams for men. This may limit you to chicken and turkey breast and fish, which are low in fat and saturated fat, as the others will exceed your daily intake number. Note the culprits and steer away from them always. The AHA has put that number down to 13 grams per day for heart health. Good sources of fat. Most fish contain less than 5% fat, which is mainly polyunsaturated. Oily fish contain 5 to 15% fat, a few have more. Below is a list of fish ranked in order of relative fat content, oily to lean. Herring, mackerel, sardines, anchovies, salmon, tuna, halibut, cod, crab, scallops, shrimp, lobster. Some tips to assist with low-fat cooking. Add water, wine or lemon juice for extra moisture instead of oil. Choose lean cuts of meat and trim visible fats before cooking. Use a rack so fat drips down and/or gravy separator to defat gravy. Instead of cooking in fat, use non-stick cookware or vegetable spray. Stir fry in stock rather than oil. Consider microwave or steaming. Instead of deep frying, brush food with a little oil and grill. Eat fat, gain weight? Not necessarily. It is a balancing act to get all of the proper amounts of nutrients. The excess calories from fats are the main dietary demons. The body can very easily store excess fat as extra pounds, and you are more likely to burn off excess calories of carbs and proteins. Butter, margarine, oil, mayonnaise, salad dressing, and grease are obvious fats. Fats are also hidden in meats, cheeses, peanut butter, nuts, and other protein foods. Excess calories from alcohol also quickly add up and can easily increase fat storage, as do the calories from the high-fat munchies that go with alcohol. Keep in mind, having the proper amounts of fat and the right kinds of fat will not make you gain weight. In this day and age of low fat, no fat, reduced fat and fake fat foods, people think that if they eat fat they will put on the pounds and will raise the risk for developing heart disease and some cancers. That is true if you take it to the extreme. Some people decide to restrict fat completely. Thinking that less fat contributes to leanness and health have been examples where people who do this do not lose weight. The body needs the good fats just as a car needs oil. Regarding calories, I do not count calories. I just watch what I eat and keep portions small. I have included below a paragraph relating to calories for those of you who do count calories. That is a choice that each of us will make in order to keep the weight off. Weight reduction is more than just exercise and eliminating dietary fat. You can also base it on a caloric budget, not only a fat gram budget. Fat loss occurs when you burn off more calories than you eat. If you require 3,000 calories to maintain your weight and you only eat 2,000 calories, you will lose fat. The kind of calories you eat are of less importance for this weight loss. Keep in mind that excess calories consumed over what your requirement is, regardless of where it comes from, will be stored as fat. Including fat in your diet allows you to eat a wider variety of food and enjoy better dietary balance. Feel more satisfied. Foods with fat provide a pleasant feeling of fullness. Be more at peace with food. Don't feel you have to be afraid to eat anything, as long as it is in moderation. In order to maintain healthy eating habits over the long term, denying yourself foods that contain fat is not the way to go. That just leads to binge eating and regaining the weight. Just keep the fats in moderation, and saturated fats to a minimum, based on the fats allowed per day. People that have a low-fat diet are known to have lower incidences of cancer. Make a mental note of the good fats versus the bad fats and make sure your daily intake consists of the good fats. Excess fat intake over daily calorie requirement causes weight gain not because it is fat but because it is taking you over your caloric max for the day. Good fats are your friend. Saturated fats are your enemy. I hope you found this information helpful. The next basic nutrients section is Part 4, Vitamins. To be continued.